time I walk by this plaque, I stop and I look and I read the names and remember the good times I had with some of these guys. I have a lot of respect for these people because they did serve their country.
There's a tremendous sense of patriotism in the building trades. There are a lot of veterans.
You meet the men and women who have served this nation, and whether it be World War II, Vietnam, and Korea, they talk about the difficulties they faced and how they wished there was a program called Helmets to Hardhats out there for them. Now their sons and daughters have served in Iraq, Afghanistan, Desert Storm. They're returning. Now we owe those people every opportunity we can provide them.
A lot of guys do have trouble trying to find something to match up to what they had done in the military.
When we went overseas and came home, it seemed like everybody kind of forgot about you.
And so when this young man or woman returns from serving this nation after 4, 15, 16 years, 20 years of service, they've been out of the loop.
Working nights, stocking shelves, and I was putting up groceries. I didn't feel like I was doing enough at all.
They leave the communities like South Boston and Dorchester, go over to Afghanistan and Iraq, and they come back after defending the country, and we bring them into our union. And it's like you brought your brother or your nephew in.
Based on their experience that they have in the military, they're trained from their first day on a sense of teamwork, the same sense of teamwork that you need on a construction site. Everyone has to work together to meet some very difficult schedules and to build some very complex building.
The discipline and teamwork and dedication and work ethic basically that I got from the Navy translated over.
When they come into the room to get interviewed, they're very nervous. And the person that should be nervous is the interviewers, because we're honored to have them.
It's a pretty serious career change to go from working on the flight deck of an aircraft carrier to being a union Boilermaker.
Our apprentices serve a 5-year apprenticeship program, and we teach them all aspects of the building industry.
Instructors are really quite something else. That they're instructors at the top of their trade. They know what they're doing. They're very skilled.
And without a program like an apprenticeship program, the rebuilding of this country would be virtually impossible.
We have 15 trades and over 80 apprenticeable crafts, from the roof down to the foundation, from the pipes inside to the electricians, to the bricklayers, Boilermakers who do our power plants.
We refer to our apprenticeship programs as the other 4-year degree. Most involve classroom training that exceeds the number of hours someone would need to achieve a bachelor's degree.
After they graduate from here, they can go on to blueprint reading, estimating, foreman training, a contractor college. So much, you know, as far as advancement. With us, it's international. So they can work anywhere in the United States.
If I decide to move to California one day, I know I can bring my skills with me, so.
We attribute a great deal of our success to the individuals that evolved in the military in the past.
I can tell you that every contractor in my organization, I sometimes get calls when they're looking for project managers, and they say to me, can you get me somebody from Helmets to Hardhats?
It reminds me a lot of those days on the aircraft carrier, on the deck. It was just a natural fit to go from that type of environment to this type of environment, where it takes a lot of coordination and cooperation, and there's always a time pressure because the building's going up fast to keep up the information, so it has to be coordinated as the building goes up. They all know the drill, they're all experts at it. It's the same idea where there's multiple disciplines working together to achieve the operational goal, to get the work done.
People I've met through the years as an elevator constructor that have come from the military have turned out to be some of the best elevator constructors I've known. Just knowledgeable, hardworking guys and girls that just have a great work ethic and you know, joy to work with.
I felt like I owed it to my country, and I'm honored to help it out any way I can.
I mean, who else would you want to trust to build the infrastructure of the United States? You want the people that care, that desire to excel. You want the people that believe.
You heard reports of heroism on scene at this air crash earlier today, and now we have the man behind those acts with us on the phone. His name is Robin DeHaven. He works for the Binswanger Glass Company.
And then you take Robin. He embodies what we do because he is that person.
And then I saw the black smoke, and my immediate reaction was to pull off the road and go towards the smoke and see if I could help anybody.
And you did get all 5 people out and down to safety?
Yes, ma'am.
And they believe when they were on the battlefields, they believe when they're on the aircraft carriers, they will believe when they get on the job site.
You're learning that trade, trying to pick up. As you progress, every 6 months you should be learning a little more. You should be better than you are already. And that should continue going just like any career. You learn more as things change. Building materials change, windows change, houses, codes, laws. There's a lot that goes into it that I kind of learned from the military.
You'll always have that mentality. It's been instilled from you from day one, the first day, especially when I stepped on the footprints of Parris Island.
This is just the beginning, the tip of the iceberg, and there's so much to learn here that you could just keep coming back and learning all the different facets of the trade, and hopefully one day own my own business.
I could stay a mechanic for the next 30 years before I retire. I could run for political office. Your doors are never closed to you, especially within a union.
Just knowing that I built a part of the city, some building somewhere in the city, and I was a part of it, it's a really good feeling.
So when they rebuild America, when they're building a road, when they're building a bridge, when they're putting lights in a room, you know, they're putting that same dedication and same desire into it to make sure a good job is done.
You go out there and you work very, very hard. It's very difficult, and it's sometimes dangerous, and it's satisfying. You go home to your children, you go home to your wife, and your nice little home that you bought, pat your dog, and you're satisfied because you know you did an honest day's living, you got an honest day's pay. And that's pretty important for most people.
I know I personally feel a sense of obligation to give them a hand up, not a handout, because that's not what they're looking for. They just want an opportunity to continue their lives and to enjoy the things that they've gone and fought and protected for all of us, not just for themselves.
And I have a wife and I have 5 kids. Everything I do for them. And every hour I work, I'm putting money into my pension and annuity. And you know, when I'm old and I can't do it for them anymore, I'm still going to have that money rolling in that I'll still be able to be there for them. It's a sense of security.
I want the new guys to understand that this apprenticeship program, the school is so great that you cannot fail if you exert yourself. You cannot fail. You're going to learn a new trade for free. It's an opportunity of a lifetime and all, you know.
When you give someone the ability to use their mind and their hands, their leadership abilities, to go onto a job site and to construct a building or a road or a bridge, there's a feeling that comes with that. I succeeded, I made that, I built that. They're training them how to do that. They're giving them lifelong skills.
I'm accepted here as if I was accepted in the Marine Corps, as a brother.
We're like family, an extended family, and everybody's proud of everybody else's accomplishments.
Everybody looks out for each other, helps each other out, and it's hard to find. It really is hard to find.
When people are there to lend that helping hand, it just makes the next day easier to handle.
I had 50 of them graduate, and it was emotional. I was a little emotional, first graduating class. I was very happy for them. And I see them now, and a lot of them are successful and doing very well, and I'm proud of them, like you would your children, yeah.
And they fit. They fit like a glove fits, like a piece fits in a puzzle with us in our industry.
It's a good place. Yeah. Because of Helmets to Hardhats, they found this job. I would have never, ever thought of the union.
You know, it's just, there's no better place to be. This is where I want to be. This is a dream come true.
They have the ability to really accomplish the goals that I think all Americans want to accomplish. To be able to make a good living, be able to raise a family, provide a comfortable home, and then have, at the end of their experience, a dignified retirement.
We know we need those apprentices to be out there to be the next generation, the next workforce of the future.
It's our turn to give them the ability to live that American dream, because that's what it's about.
We're building our communities, and we take a lot of pride in what we build because we protect it every day.
They're the best people among us. I can't say enough about them.
a jump start for some veterans struggling to find work after serving our country.
The electricians at IBEW Local 46 are paying for this new 3-month training program.
It gives us a direct entry from school right into the field.
This program is Brett Olson's baby. He remembers his father's jarring return from Vietnam.
And when my dad came back, he struggled to find a job, and as a kid, I don't want this to happen to our returning vets.
Finally tonight, the men and women in uniform who are hard at work in this nation's dual wars. The military makes them into very good fighters, but that can often be a problem when they come home and they need other skills to make it through these tough economic times.
Lance Corporal Joe Gastring is just 23 years old, but he has an impressive resume, Iraq War veteran and Purple Heart recipient. After 4 years of military duty, he's ready for a change. Coming home to a country in a recession, Gastring had to find a job to support his wife and newborn daughter.
It does make me nervous because we don't have that guarantee anymore.
Gastring is part of a new program linking the Marine Corps and the United Association, a union of plumbers and pipe fitters.
Hey, they're over there in Iraq and Afghanistan, laying it on the line every day for us to protect our freedom, and we just figured it was some way that we could give back.
UA President William Haidt created the 16-week Warriors in Welding Boot Camp. One of the few, one of the proud, is now one of the first to trade in their rifles for a welder's torch.